Hey, welcome to Worth It Wednesday. Every Wednesday at Path for Growth, we send a principle worth learning, a question worth answering, and a recommendation worth taking. Today's principle is a practical one, especially as it relates to decision making, because today's principle is that your body often knows the answer before you do. And gosh, I kind of hate saying this, but this is a principle that I have learned the hard way, because there have been moments and times where I've chosen to ignore it. And that's either that I was moving too fast to pay attention to what my body was saying I should do, or I knew what my body was saying and I said, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm just gonna go with what I want to do, or with what's popular, or with what people are urging me to do. And this can happen in conversations, it can happen in commitments, it can happen in decisions. But I will tell you, there's one place that I have seen this show up for me, but I've also seen it show up for the business owners that we get to work with at Path for Growth, because we have some pretty intense one-on-one conversations with people at Path for Growth. And the one area where I've seen this show up repeatedly is people know oftentimes in the hiring process whether or not they should hire the person. And oftentimes when a bad hire is made, and I can say I've done this, when an incorrect or an improper or an inaccurate hire is made, I will tell you, there's been a time where I've done that, where something felt weird in my side felt tight, my shoulders were up here, my breathing was shallow, and I was clenching my jaw. And in that specific case, I just wasn't paying attention, right? I just was moving too fast, and I said, we got to get this thing done, and I just moved forward anyway. And this is what people are talking about when they say, I should have trusted my gut. And that's what we're talking about. I used to have a pastor that he would say, oftentimes the Holy Spirit resides in our gut. And what he's alluding to there is that this thing that we may share a belief in called the Holy Spirit, it often provides the role of comforter, but it also provides the role of convictor, right? And oftentimes we've got this helper that aids us in decision making. And one of the ways that manifests sometimes is in our physical response to things. And what I want to encourage you to do is trust your gut, trust the spirit inside of you, that when something feels off, it doesn't necessarily mean that the answer is an automatic no, stop, turn around. It doesn't mean automatically, but it does mean that it should cause you to pause. It does mean that it should cause you to take a couple of deep breaths. It does mean that when you notice that your chest is getting tight, or your jaw is getting clenched, or you're starting to feel uptight in your shoulders, that your body might know the answer before you do, and it would be wise to pay attention and ask the question prayerfully, what's going on there? Because oftentimes our body knows the answer before we do. Y'all have a killer Wednesday.